Okay, everyone, welcome to Tdsb. Um, Tdsb soccer standings, etc. So basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to give you guys a prediction for this season, for the 2022-2023 Tdsb season. This is only for the North region. I will do South, East, and West later on. Um, Actually, that's kind of funny because that's very interesting. So I just realized that the website for TDSB only shows North and South. So South region contains schools like Harvard, East York, North Toronto, Monarch, Danforth, Central Tech, etc. And then North is what you guys see here. So for some reason, or I might be crazy. There might not be a East and West. That's weird. I might be crazy. And that there's no East and West. But I thought there was. Okay, but anyway, so this video we're taking a look at the North region. And so the season's already underway. And this is the predictions that I made before the season started. I just never got around to recording it. I did try and put some records in as to what I think the teams will finish with. But I didn't do that in time, but we're gonna record like this. I guess the record doesn't really matter, just as long as the teams make it into the playoffs. Then I guess that's what matters the most. So for Group 1, we have Westview, Northview, Downsview, CW, Jeffries, York Mills, Sir John A. Macdonald, William Lyon Mackenzie, and Georges Vanier. So this was my prediction. So I said that Westview is gonna come in first, Northview is gonna come in second, Downsview third, CW fourth, York Mills 5th, Sir John A. Macdonald would be 6th, Mackenzie would be 7th, and Vanier would be last. Now, this was totally wrong. My prediction was totally off because back when I actually played in TDSB, or when I was a student in TDSB, these teams that I put in first were actually good. Like, they were actually pretty good. Like, Westview, Northview, Downsview especially. CW was a pretty difficult team to play against. Maybe it's because I played on Mackenzie, and Mackenzie honestly has never really been that good. Like back in grade 9, which was 2017, that was the last time we actually did well, and we made it to the quarterfinals. And then every year after that, we just couldn't make it out the group stage, or like the league. We couldn't qualify for the playoffs. And Northview was obviously one of the best alongside Downsview. And CW and Westview, like these teams were like, they were pretty good. Maybe it's because we were just a lot worse. Because honestly, I do not remember the standings from those years that I played. Like I actually don't. I kind of wish I did because then I could like refer back to it and just be like, oh, okay, well this changed. But I have no record of those standings. But that was what I predicted. And then Group 2, we have John Poliani, or Poliani, or John Polani, whatever you want to say. I would always say John Poliani, but it's John Polani. Then we have John Polani in first, Lawrence Park in second, which is kind of close to what I guessed. A.Y. Jackson in third, Emory in fourth, and we've played Emory before. And these guys were pretty good. They beat us 2-0. I remember they beat us 2-0 that time. So they were pretty good. Victoria Park, Don Mills, Newtonbrook, and George. What's the school called? It's called George S. Henry Academy. There we go. So that was my prediction for Group 2. Yeah, so John Polani was pretty good. Lawrence Park, I don't remember anything about Lawrence Park. A.Y. Jackson, I don't remember either, but I kind of gave them the benefit of the doubt and just put them in third place. Emory was pretty decent back then. I'm not sure about now. Once again, guys, like I don't know anything about these schools. I'm just kind of going off like what I remember from when I played, and that's basically it. Victoria Park, I don't remember anything about them from the outdoor season. The only thing I remember is losing to them in a very close game in indoor soccer at the hangar. That was it, and that's the only thing I remember of Victoria Park. Don Mills will be a very big surprise as to how they're doing. I have the senior group stages out right now. And then we have Newtonbrook. Newtonbrook has always been kind of like Mackenzie, like just never really good. I don't know about how Newtonbrook was in grade 9. So back when Mackenzie was in the quarterfinals, I don't think Newtonbrook made it through. I don't believe they did. And George S. Henry Academy, I don't know anything about the school. So we'll see. I'm not sure. But the season obviously is just underway. There's going to be 7 games for each team, I believe. And yeah, we'll see where teams end up. And we'll see how, if this will be true at all. Because this could still be true as long as, some teams start winning, etc. But this is the current standing. So this is Group 1. So you can compare it to what I have here. So in Group 1, so as I said, I put Westview, Northview, and Downsview as the top 3. In Group 1, we have York Mills currently leading with 3 wins and 1 tie. And they have 11 goals for and 0 against, which is kind of crazy. Then we have George Vanier. Surprisingly, I put George Vanier as last place, but these guys are second place. They have 2 wins, 3 for, and 1 against. So they haven't really been scoring as many goals as York Mills. They only have 3 goals in the last 2 games, which is, it's not bad. Like, they're winning. That's what matters. As long as you win, it doesn't really matter how many goals you get for. As long as you kind of have the win on lock, then I think it's pretty good. And we have Sir Johnny McDonald. So Sir Johnny McDonald, I put them as 6th place, but they're 3rd right now. And then we have in 4th Downsview. So I guess that was kind of close. Downsview is 3rd for me here, but they're 4th down here. Then we have Mackenzie in 5th. Now, I know Mackenzie very well, and I don't really expect them to do well, but if they make it through this year, if the senior team makes it through this year, that would be very, very cool. And I'll definitely be happy to see that because we couldn't do it in our years. But yeah, hopefully we do it this year. And then out of all teams, the top 3, the top half of the group stage that I put, they're all at the bottom. So Northview, Westview, and CW, they are at the bottom. So Northview right now is 1 loss and 1 tie. And they have 2 goals. Sorry, they have 1 goal for and 2 against. So they haven't really been scored on much. But they did get 1 in. And Northview has always been a pretty good team. And it's always been a difficult team to verse. But this year we'll see. Maybe I want to assume that they're going to remain down here in the lower half of the league. Or they might be like in the middle of the standings, to be honest. I think they might be somewhere in the middle. If Mackenzie does do well, then I think Northview will stay below Mackenzie. I'm going to make that prediction right now. Then we have Westview, and Westview is currently with 2 losses, 9 goals against. So in those 2 games, they conceded 9 goals, which is quite a lot. All right, it's quite a lot. But there's other teams that have conceded way more, which we will talk about in a bit. And then we have CW Jeffries. They have 3 losses, 8 goals against. Doing a little bit better than Westview. I think at this point, Westview, we can kind of say that they're on track to be last in the league from what I'm looking at. Mainly because they got the 2 losses and then 9 goals against. And then CW has 3 losses and 8 goals against. But none of them have scored any goals this season. So we will see. Maybe for the next video that I do on these standings, I'll make it a little bit more visible for you guys. Like I'll actually write down how many goals each team has, etc. So I don't have to read it out loud. But I kind of just want to get this video out. And then Group 2, which is also once again North Region. As I said, I have John Polanyi, Lawrence Park, and AY as the top 3. So I got 2 of them correct. Sort of. I have Lawrence Park as 2nd, and then Lawrence Park is actually 1st right now. And Lawrence Park is definitely going to be a team that other schools need to watch out for. They currently have 3 wins, 15 goals for, okay, 15 goals for, and 0 against. So they obviously have their defense sorted out. They have conceded nothing in those 3 games. So no team, I would even say that no team is going to come close to what Lawrence Park is going to do this season, which is pretty cool to see. I even think that Lawrence Park will do better than York Mills because York Mills has played 4 games. Lawrence Park has played 3, and York Mills has 11 goals for, and Lawrence Park has 15, like I said. Then 2nd place, we have AY Jackson currently, and I put Lawrence Park as 2nd. But yeah, it was close. It was very, very close. Then we have Don Mills, a very surprising one. Don Mills is currently 3rd in the league, and I put them as 6th place. So I put Don Mills in 6th place. And as you guys can see, Don Mills, or you guys can't see this, but Don Mills has 3 games played, 2 wins, 1 loss, 12 goals for, and 3 against. So they're actually doing quite well on the offensive side. And defensive wise, pretty well too. They've only conceded 3 goals in 3 games. I think that's pretty good. And I can definitely see Don Mills actually finishing higher than A.Y. Jackson and maybe, in second place. Honestly, that's what I would think. But my prediction for Don Mills was wrong. Currently, it's wrong. We'll see towards the end of the season. Then we have Emery in 4th at the moment. So Emery is, Emery is 2 wins, 1 loss, and they have 5 goals for, 5 against. So they're kind of, in the middle. They're kind of iffy on both sides in terms of offense and defense. But, they're holding down the middle right now, so it's quite nice to see that. I put Emery also as 1, 2, 3. I put them as 4th, and they are. Oh, sorry, Emery's 4th right now. I miscounted that. So Emery's 4th. Yeah. Do I think they're gonna drop? I think they're gonna drop. I think Emery will drop, maybe to 5th, or they will stay in the middle. Honestly, that's what I think. I think that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna either stay in the middle or gonna drop down to 5th. I mean, we will see. Then next up in 5th place. So Emery was 4th. In 5th place, we have George S. Henry Academy. I put these guys as last because I honestly don't really know much about George Henry Academy. But yeah, they are 5th right now. They have 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 tie. They have four goals for and 5 goals against. I think they're going to finish in the bottom half of Group 2. I don't think they're going to go any higher than they are now. I just think that they're going to remain somewhere around in this area. Then we have John Polanyi. Out of all schools, I really thought these guys would be first, or at least leading the league by now, and they're not. They are 0-2-1. 3 goals for, 12 goals against, which for John Polanyi, that's not very good. Obviously, 12 goals against. That means they need to sort out their defense, honestly. So, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, they really need to sort out their defense so far. And then we have Nunebrook Secondary School. I'm not too surprised where they are right now. I think this year, honestly, they have a better team. But I kind of guessed where they would be right now. So I put them as 7th place, and currently they are. I put them as 7th place. And where did I put John Polanyi? I put them as 1st. Yeah. Okay, so I put them as 1st. I really need to make this a lot easier to read. I might do this on Google Docs next time, not a spreadsheet, because this is a little bit more confusing to read. But yeah, I kind of guessed Nunebrook at the moment. I put them as 7th place, and here they are in 7th place. So Nunebrook is 0 wins, 3 losses, 0 ties. They have 4 goals for, 7 against. That's not too bad for Nunebrook. I want to assume that the previous years have been a lot worse, and they've had a lot worse starts. But do I think they will finish in the top half of these standings? No, I don't. Honestly, I'm going to say right now, I don't think they will. I think personally, at most, I want to say they could get 6th place at most. But for now, I think they're going to stay on track and just stay like down here in this bottom 3 right here. So yeah, that's Nunebrook for you guys. The previous years haven't been really good for Nunebrook from what I know. I think last year they didn't get a single win. The year before that, I want to assume that they didn't get a single win. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's what it is. And then, surprise, surprise for me, Victoria Park is last place at the moment with 0 wins, 3 losses, 0 ties, 0 goals for. Okay, and then 16 goals against. I think if Nunebrook is going to get their first win, it will be against Victoria Park. If anything, I think they will tie with Victoria Park. I cannot see Nunebrook losing to Victoria Park. Like, I just cannot see that happening because Victoria Park has conceded 16 goals. 16 goals. They have conceded 16 goals, which is kind of crazy. Now, I put Victoria Park as 1, 2, 3, 4. I put them as 5th. So I put them as 5th here. So I didn't really have high expectations for Victoria Park, but they kind of are below now, below the bar that is kind of set for them. But yeah, as you can see, they are last place right now. So that is what I have, guys, for you for now. Will I do some updates? Maybe I'll do some updates towards the end of the season to see where teams actually end up. There's only 7 games in the season. I don't think I need to do like frequent updates on this. I do want to do South region next and just kind of take some guesses as where teams will end up. And then just take a look at where teams are right now. Now, I don't know anything about South region, so it'll literally just be just me kind of guessing and just kind of from what I know and from what I remember from previous years. But anyways, guys, that is it for the video. So that is the current TDSB North region standings. And we'll see what happens towards the end of the season. I think some teams are going to have some good years. Teams like Lawrence Park definitely going to be dominating this region. But anyways, guys, I'll see you all in the next one.